evening, YouTube. You guys are now watching another segment of TheCaliEffect. Today, I decided to actually do a deck profile that I've never even done a saga on, mainly because I wanted to see how exactly with this two-camera perspective working, how would you guys like this? Today, we're going to be doing a very interesting deck that I'm not even going to lie, I threw together like 3 days ago and was kind of playtesting with it. It's pretty fun to play at a casual level. Would I take it to a competitive event? I'd probably make a couple of tweaks. And then possibly, yeah, it's that good. But let me get down to the deck profile. 3 Constellar Kaus, 3 Moraltach, 3 Pollux, 3 Sombre, 3 Deneb, 3 Altair, 3 Tenki, 3 Rhoda, 2 Lance, 2 Dualities. For traps, 3 Sanctum, 3 Call 100, 3 Vanities, or 2 Vanities Emptiness, 2 Breakthrough Skill, 2 Chains. And for Exceeds, Thundercharger, M7, 2 Plieaides, Zenmaioh, Volcasuaras, Deltaros, the Satellarknight monster, Blackship of Corn, Arc, Exiton, Dweller, Rhapsody, Sky Blaster, Paladynamo, Omega. For the extra, or for the side deck, I have 2 Stygian Dirge, 2 Shadow Imprisoning Mirror, 2 Debunk, 2 Mind Crush, 3 Typhoon, 2 DD Crow, and 2 Maxx. Now, this deck is extremely fun. I'm going to say it's really interesting because there's a couple of premises I want to go after. First and foremost, when you open up, depending on what you open up, you can start off with, I want to see 2 different plays. You can either make Constellar Plieaides with, with Pollux and Kaus, or you can start off with Deneb to Altair. Now, depending on what you open up with, your opponent's going to think you're running, actually, that deck. If I open with Plieaides, the opponent's going to think I'm running artifacts. More often than not, I try my best to open up with the Satellarknight Deneb combo because I want them to think that I'm running Satellarknight. The biggest reason why is because the Constellar engine really catches them off guard. It catches them by surprise. They're focusing so much on stopping the Deneb Altair play that you just pop out with Pollux and the Kaus and they're just like, okay, whatever. And then you start like bouncing back Call at 100 back to your hand, and you start bouncing Fiendish Chains. You bounce your Vanity's Emptiness after you flip it on your opponent, and it really catches them off guard. And that more often than not will get you game 1, which is just really funny at just how the deck plays because I really just threw it together. The next big thing is that we're going to talk about is the artifact engine, which, I mean, artifacts can be splashed in just a handful of decks, so they kind of see it coming. But then if they're seeing just the Satellarknights and the artifacts, they're like, okay, it's just a 2100 Moraltach. Haha. Next thing you know comes Constellar Kaus. Kaus makes 5, and then you can make any of your 5 plays, which is just another one of those things that catches the opponent completely off guard. You start playing those types of cards, and then it's just not much you can do. The deck is really searchable in the form of 3 Fire Formation Tenki and 3 Reinforcement of the Army, 2 Pot of Duality, and obviously the Sanctums. The Denebs really get there for searching your Altairs. That's really the only purpose that is good at. Essentially, this deck is really a rank 4 dot deck that can make 5 plays at any given time. Another one of my favorite combos is to make Omega. Maybe I make Omega to force the opponent to use the back row, Karma Cut, Phoenix Swimming Blast, or whatever. I waste one of the Omega material. Next thing you know, I'm going into the M7, which is very relevant in this format. After it's Summoning Sickness, I can detach to bounce anything from the graveyard to your hand. Probably Altair for another Deneb play. Maybe even Kaus, or it's just whatever I necessarily need. Maybe my Sanctums didn't resolve properly and I want to get them back again and go resolve them properly again. It's just a lot of excitement in that play. Another thing is just making Plieaides. More often than not, I'll stun them with the Moraltach first. I'll destroy a card on the other side of the field. Hopefully a monster to prevent them from going into any type of play. And then I'll go Pollux. Pollux summon Kaus. Kaus effect, I'll make Pollux 5, and then I'll use Moraltach and the Pollux to make a rank 5 play, which is just really good for pressuring the opponent because they already know if they get rid of the Constellar Plieaides, there's always Kaus still on the board. And if I do bring out another artifact monster and destroy one of their cards, I can then in turn just make Kaus 5 and then overlay for another 5. The thing that really makes me sad, I mean, it would have been really cool if the Satellarknight and the Constellar monsters actually would have been able to work together with each other in some way, type, or form. That would have been like really, I think that would have been OP to make Deneb 5 and then exceed it with Moraltach. I think that deck would just have a lot more pop. We don't really need Satellarknight Deltaros, mainly because it's a little harder to make 3 level 4 monsters and then make it worth the investment. Granted, I could like go Call it 100, special summon Altair, Altair effect, special summon Deneb, then follow up with Pollux into a Kaus, or Pollux into maybe a Sombre or something. Then I can make my rank 3 play from there, destroy a card from the field. If it gets destroyed, I get to special summon Deneb, and then go ahead and make my other rank 4 play. So I mean, like, by that, it could be that good, but then at the same time, like, you don't really necessarily need it. You're going to use it to make any of your staple rank 4 monsters, and since you did have the room, I do run the rank 5 cards as well. Thunder Charger is pretty good. Because I can go from Omega to Thunder Charger real quick. I mean, I thought that was just real cool, that I could just go Omega into M7 into Thunder Charger and inflict massive piercing damage whenever I needed to. That's a big reason why he's in there. I do like double Castel. Not necessarily in this deck, mainly because I have Paladynamo, I have Castel, I have Arc. I have just so many ways to get over the opponent's monster threats. I didn't think it was that necessary to run so many monster outs. But if I were, I'd probably drop maybe the Excited for it, just because. Vanity's Emptiness is a really interesting card in here as well, because I don't run Trap Stun. Please, I want to run Trap Stun. If you guys ever take this deck and want to run Trap Stun, I wouldn't know what to tell you to take out, but definitely try to find a way to run Trap Stun. I mean, it's one of the best trap cards in the format right now. I definitely take out maybe Debunks, maybe Maxx's, depending on your meta, to run said Trap Stuns, because, or at least sideboard them, because they're that good. The deck just makes so many plays in that aspect, and Trap Stun just lets you go uninterrupted. Next, for the side deck, the Stygian Dirges are for... I really don't side them for Burning Abyss. I side them for a lot of Rogue. You guys will see me, you'll side them for a lot of Rogue. The biggest reason why you wouldn't even side them for Burning Abyss is because unless you see that your opponent is not running the Mara variant, which I feel is the superior variant, then you don't need to side Stygian Dirge. It's not going to be helpful in any way, shape, or form. I normally side it in the Satellarknight matchup and a lot of Rogue decks that need to make those rank 4s and Gear Gears. Like, it's good against those type of decks if you ask me. Shadow Imprisoning Mirror is obvious. Debunk is still a really, really, really good card. I think it's highly underrated, but I definitely drop them for the Fairy Winds once Quillforts drop out, or even the Trap Stuns once Quillfort drops out, or even the Cyber Dragons, because, I mean, there's just that good. And as you guys can see, the card that I just completely overlaid was Mind Crush. Really, really good card this format. Mystical Space Typhoon is good against back rows. You guys should already know. Then DD Crows and Maxx's are just really good sideboard cards as DD Crows and Maxx's. Well, with that being said, thank you guys for watching another segment of the CaliEffect. I really just wanted to do this just so I can see how this 2-camera aspect goes along and how do you guys think about it. Let me know what you guys think about these future way of doing deck profiles, but please like, comment, subscribe. It still is a really good deck that I advise you to play. I want to put the YDK or the Dev Pro file down below, but I think this would be a really good start on something really special. But like I said, like, comment, subscribe, but most of all, enjoy.